cast Loner on Split. He, as I previously talked about, jumped up on top of a light fixture and got a 4K off of a cheeky little rat spot.
Oh yeah, in mid, I saw that play.
It's a fantastic thing, but now that it's made its rounds of the Twitterverse, I'm not sure he's going to be able to get away with it again. We'll see. We'll see. I am very curious what kind of tricks and traps people are going to have broken out. Right now, the attacking side is very split, and that will be Big Frame starting out on the attack. They're going to take a first phase towards a ramp, but no kills found. A little bit of damage onto the breach, but he might be able to get back around to the stage and get that healed up.
So you can see the sage or the change in play. The Jet now in place of the Sova.
Got the spike.
Welshi back on Cypher, and then Dev is playing Breach again. So no more Rays coming in. On the opposite end, you've got Hayes now playing Viper, Drone on the Sova again. Lasky taking Breach, which was Hayes' play before. Lasky, I believe, was playing the Brim.
Down.
Cutler on the Cypher, and then Wardell playing the Sage, which was in fact the case before. In the site, Cutler somehow takes that extended duel. Now, across the map, Hayes is going to go for that ult pickup on the orb over towards the A site, but the spike planted here inside this B site. Again, this is equalized currently, 1-1.
Here they come in. Not quite equalized now. One advantage here. There's going to be the drop in already. There's the wall up to give them a little bit of space back in towards garage. A little bit of a boon. He's going to be dumping what utility they have to limit these sight lines and trying to allow themselves back in, but the tags are coming out. Nice frags coming back the other way. Defense finding it all now onto the Cypher. Welshi, the bomb is not planted for him, but while he will find that pick, I think the DC's going to go through. No, he's pulled him off. Welshi's got the third. I guess there wasn't enough time, but Lasky, for whatever reason, did abandon it. Welshi does win the clutch. A 1v3 to secure the pistol and give Big Frames an advantage again starting out this map.
Big start there for Big Frames here in the pistol, crushing their opposition with a big 1 versus 3. That was huge. Welshi going off, just like Welshi did with Raze. Again, Welshi switched to the Raze, and we saw a little bit more of a strong performance from them. Not necessarily a big-name player in that previous series when we watched them play against the French-Canadian side. But now Welshi switched back over to the Cypher, and not exactly the offensive hero at times, given that Raze has all of that damage-based utility at her belt. You've got the nade, you've got the satchel, and of course you've got the rocket. You anticipate those numbers coming in from a Raze. You don't necessarily anticipate that strong performance coming in from a Cypher. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. Drone may have just spotted them in mid, backing off now with that Ghost. You can see the buy coming out. It's just going to be pistols coming in. Drone the only one that's actually spent money. The rest on the default. There's 3 Bulldogs and 2 Spectres in play.
Area. There they are.
I don't know if you were spectating. I was watching Welshi for that early engagement. He was putting a lot of spam out towards the B garage or outside of the B garage. I think he was actually looking for Cypher abilities, looking for the camera, checking a couple spam spots.
They spammed that spot. Did you see that?
They did. They cleared it. They know. I mean, they're the ones who originated it.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to make sure they don't get caught off by that one. That would be a very unfortunate clip to have come back to bite you. Oh, no. Peeking out with a tripwire out. Well, she didn't anticipate the player was in heaven. Thought he backed out to CT. Now this is a big problem. Bjor and the Brimstone, who is nerfed, going to have to deal with this 2v3, and their opponents will be able to retrieve some guns from heaven. This is severely problematic now. This is high pressure situation. There's not a lot of health on these remaining players. The Breach in particular is quite vulnerable. I think that's Lasky. And the Sova not looking too much better for it. It's definitely viable for the defensive side. The retake is on. They're making their way out. They're using that smoke to limit sightlines a little bit, although I think the sight hold. Nerf gets one. Time is ticking low. They'd better move now if they're going to move at all. And it seems like not at all may be the answer. Just ring around the rosy now, around the pillar, and Nerf continuing to do the damage. Is going to be all cleaned up. The 2v3 secured, the 2-0 secured as well. The spike gonna kill him?
No. Yeah. The spike, as long as the spike basically doesn't detonate before, like, I think it's like 2, you're fine. Because if the spike detonates, but, like, time hits 0, even if you die at 0, you respawn back into the next round with the stuff you had. I've noticed that a few times where people, animation, like, the animation shows them dying, they're still in the next round.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I've
seen it happen quite a bit It's kind of weird. They don't show as dying in the top right corner, so you don't see them actually dying on the kill feed.
Gotcha.
You just see their bodies sort of do this weird vanishing move. Because when you actually die to the spike, it sort of like lifts you up and just like disintegrates you.
Dramatic. It's a little Thanos snap spike.
Yeah, something like that.
Wall in mid. Jet can go right over this. Is Loner going to do it? This is what the
wondering
character's built for.
Yeah, I'm wondering more if Wardell was going to try and jump on top of it.
You got the drone coming over. That drone can't spot the Jet. Ooh, I don't know if he did.
I don't think Wardell's going to waste it. They've already done so much damage to this wall. It's illogical for them to blast out over the top. Now, Loner has to be careful because, yeah, for that very reason. Getting stuck in that slow orb, making all that noise, made it clear that someone was there. And Hayes has got this Viper over here on long A. So much control can be had from this, especially when you play it like this. Nice flick over as well on the recoil. Can't get that third kill, but 2 quick kills, a 1-2 punch coming in from Hayes on the Viper. They've still got the breach up here as well, up on the elbow. Now they're going to go for that res, and somehow they're going to kill on a drone. But there's Lasky peeking out. Lasky goes down fast as well. Again, a back-and-forth volley, just like we've seen from previous rounds. And they'll even take down Cutler. That's a huge kill as Nerf throws down the smoke. They've got the ult as well, and they've got the time for the spike plant. They're going to go for the spike planted in the rear of the bomb site.
You know why? It's for the Brim ult. It's definitely going to be bait for the Brim ult. Now they can just sit back, have someone close enough to see the spike, but no, the Brim goes down. Can't rely on it now. Have to win the fight. Wardell will deny. Survives with just a bit of health left, 17. But if they had gotten out of that position, gotten around the pillars or back into CT, if you get ulted while you're tapping the spike, you can't get out before the Brim ult hits.
Yeah, it's not even that you can't get away. It's because you're so far nestled into a corner. As long as they place it right, you have to run through the whole thing. And then at that point, you're running through the whole thing with your knife out, trying to dodge that while they're peeking you with guns. So, yeah, exactly. There's not much you can do about that one. You're just going to have to sit there and eat that damage and then hopefully escape on the other side without taking too many bullets. That said, the defenders still come up with it because of a big kill coming in from Wardell, taking down, I believe it was Nerfed, who was playing the Brim almost immediately. Yes. Now, this round, it looks like they want to go fast and just pressure. Oh, man. Hazed. Flash early on by the Brim push. They're going to be running their way over towards this A site pretty rapidly. Drone got the kill on upper. There's the ult coming in now, but that's not really going to do too much. Flushes them out of the site, sure, but with that snake bite down on the ground, they still have to kill some time before they can even commence the push.
Timid now. Everybody's here. They've got reinforcements. Wardell can watch heaven. It's a little bit passive, but there's a player out on the balcony, so they know they're not coming lower. So the Viper's going to push on the flank. Look at this from Hayes. This is going to be so smart. There's a slow war, sure. The drones just killed everybody, so who needs Hayes flanked? That's going to be a tied scoreline. Nicely played from the mouseSpaz side. And that was, I think, a little problematic for Big Frames. As you said, that ult just didn't really accomplish much, and they couldn't push off the back of it, so you didn't even really get the space saving. And one little detail I noticed there, which I'd like to see, Hayes took the time to pick up his utility at the end of that round. With the characters who can retrieve their utility, you can actually keep it, so you don't have to reinvest. It's a little bit of money, but it's money that matters.
So Wardell again in mid. With that Sage Wall. Looked like he was going to throw that one down a little too early, in my opinion. Definitely want to save that. Put it down as late as you possibly can. Loner's been spotted by the dart, and now the wall comes through. Now this wall as well, you can see the feet if you get to the doors. You have to be careful. If you're on the attacking side, you can get your feet shot at by someone playing up aggro on it. So some damage was dealt there to Loner with a shock dart coming in from Drone. Drone has to dodge the breach charge that came out in response to that shock dart coming out. So many bullets had poured into that wall, but now they're backing off of it. So a lot of utility dump early on in the round. Loner rocking that Sheriff, heading on over towards the B site where they've got the Cypher set up in position. Cutler's going to throw down that camera. And now they just killed it, so now they know that something's going on. There's the flashbang in as well. The ult coming in as well from the Jet. Does the Jet get the knife kill? That's the question. Well, you hope so, because that's all that's left. That got crushed so quick. We went to the Jet's perspective to see if the knives would play a factor. And the answer is no, they didn't. Not even close.
Not at all. What's interesting to me about the Jet pick is I think the Jet's going to continue to fall out of favor in team comps, right?
The Jet to me feels useless.
She's a very selfish character. If you're playing in pugs, that's fine. You can make individual plays. That's how people play for the most part. But in a team comp, it's not so much even that her abilities are useless. They're not great. But it's that any other ability that could be in her place feels more useful. Even like I suspect Loner picked the Jet again so that he could do the jump up onto that light fixture, perhaps. But even then, a Raze can get up there. An Omen can get up there. It just feels like either of those characters would be more useful to the team.
I think it's just overall general mobility, but I agree. I don't really like Jet. I think that the smokes don't last long enough from Jet, and I think that the rest of her abilities are mobility-based. Her ulti is strong when she can actually connect with those, but even still, I don't know.
Is it stronger than a rocket?
Well, given the current meta, I'd say they're about even. If you watched, like, the rockets aren't necessarily as deadly as they were a week ago. But I still think there's just better characters to play.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to play, like, an aggressive initiator, Omen, to me, is stronger than a Jet. Omen's got, dark cover, which I think is a really good ability. And then, obviously, also the Omen has the ability to teleport, and then that ult can be very good for getting behind enemy lines. Obviously, they'll be listening for it, but it's a matter of where they are and whether or not they ping it properly. Cutler going to pick off the first one as they try to make their way through B main. Cutler laughs as he peeks for another. They spam him through the box, but does minimal damage. He knows the last one's here. It's down to Dev in the 1v5. Good luck surviving, Youngblood.
Oh, there's two. Dev, maybe not such a young. He's going to be coming around. He's got another gun. Now it's a 1v1. Nope, 1v2 rather. He's going to get dropped. Thought there was one last player up on the server. Nice damage, though, from Dev to follow it up. I think Dev's like 27, so maybe not such a young blood by
me still.
esports standards. I mean, that's true, but everyone's a young blood.
33 very
Oldest
soon.
Time.
That
Oldest
is,
time.
I feel very old. I'm not just bald anymore because I'm unfortunately unlucky. It's just because I'm old.
Is that how it works?
I'm like 2 years away from shaking my fist at kids playing hip-hop as they drive their cars down the street too fast.
Revealing area.
Although I currently have done that many times, but not because of the music, more because they're driving too fast.
I feel like you're a speed bump kind of
Now,
player.
this is a very fast take towards the A site, and I'm not sure if they're going to be ready for this. But as I say that, Hayes picks off the first one. They've got this off as well on Wardell playing upper. The defending side here looking a lot stronger for the likes of mouseSpaz. Wardell misses the flick with the operator. Doesn't matter. Lasky's going to get the kill. And it's down to Bjor. And Bjor alone as his teammate Welshie dead on the other side of the map. Nothing. Flawless victory coming in for the defending side as the attackers couldn't get anything going. I thought they were going to go for much faster play. But again, so much control coming out from that Viper, who in my opinion is heavily underrated. But we talked about it leading into this map. If they got on the split, Viper should have been played. And here we are, because there's so many fun things you can do with Viper on this map.
I think that Hayes is playing the agent quite well as well, just using those abilities as sort of a crowd control type of thing, slow them as they try and make their way up, finding the information. The great thing about her is that you can place something, you can bring it down, you can bring it back up as you're talking to come back up. So it's sort of a, oh, they start to make a little bit of noise, pull up my walls.
Yeah, so
drop them when they're not here.
Here's something that's kind of interesting to me is, why can't you kill the like the poison orb?
Why can't you just shoot it, the base?
Yeah. I kind of wonder if that's something that will eventually come into play, like being able to kill it, but do a better job of hiding it. Like, if they do a better job of hiding it, then I wouldn't have as much a problem with it. Like, if it wasn't as big a target, or it blended in a little bit more, then I would be like, okay, maybe let them kill it so they can get past it.
I think that probably what it is that the idea is if you allow them to kill it, people are just going to learn how to do the lineup on the center of the orb, and as soon as an orb goes up, it's just going to get shot. But I agree with you. The fact that it can come back up repeatedly and indefinitely makes me think that it should be broken. But with the wall, then that same logic applied. The wall, the base parts are visible from the outside, so you'd have to adjust that slightly. I'm not sure how you would compensate.
I mean, obviously the balance is that eventually you run out of that gas. You run out of your toxic gas, so that's the balancing mechanic. Now the Jet getting past that Sage ice, moving in towards Drone, who's waiting here underneath on the ropes. And after spotting him, they realize we're not going to extend that fight too much further. Now, the Cypher here on the back of site has been so good, and Cutler's going to continue in similar fashion. Meanwhile, Wardell Lumber doing what Wardell does best. It comes down to the last one yet again with 12 seconds left. And it currently feels like a much more one-sided victory than even 6-2 kind of tells. They are absolutely dominating Big Frames here from the defensive side, because right now clock control is not a thing for Big Frames. They are getting down to the wire, and they're still getting nowhere.
I love that play from Cutler. I've seen a few different Cyphers do it, and I think it's a really excellent use of this kit. Basically, you're using your camera to immediately spot the players that come around to the hallway. You hit them with the spy dart, so then you know when they're coming. As soon as they've taken that spy dart out, you throw up your cyber cage. Meanwhile, there's a tripwire in the cyber cage, so when they try and move into that to try and put pressure onto you, you know exactly where they are, and you can just spam them instantly. Swing, spam, get a kill. It's a really effective use of the kit. Hayes, meanwhile, going to make effective use of his gun here, and now the kit comes out. He has been overwhelmed, but no! He gets the gun out in time. He gets the damage, and so much damage done here. Pure can heal himself and get the rifle. This should finally allow a spike plant. It feels like it's been ages since we've been able to say that for the Big Frames, but the pressure has only just begun. They've just dealt with Hayes. Everyone else is about to be here for the retake.
Dev taking significant damage too from a breach charge and a shock dart that came in, so Dev now has to back off, hoping for a heal that could come through. Maybe that ult just off where it needed to be here for the Brim. There's Wardell as well, continuing doing what Wardell's been doing. There's the ult coming through, and that'll stun down quite a few, but doesn't really make much of a difference, does it? With the limited hardware coming into the round, Drone and Cutler just mop things up quite quickly, and the defuse can come through.
I appreciate the fact that they wanted to try and steal that round away by dumping the ults in to sort of compensate for the pistols. And that's a way that you can do it in this game, right? You can absolutely use abilities to compensate for your lack of firepower. I think they just blew their load a little bit too early. Just a little bit too early. No one had really committed to moving in. No one got caught in Brimstone's ult. No one really got caught in Breach's ult either, because they had already moved back as a result of Brim's. So just maybe waiting a bit more time, having a bit more patience just to try and whittle clock would have been the answer there. Either way, not going to work out for the Big Frames.
Now you can see Wardell posted up on mid with that operator. Wardell's been getting a little bit mobile, playing sometimes towards upper A, and I like this aggression right now coming in from Hazed. Hazed, again, has been playing aggro over here on A a little bit, using this poison orb. But, yeah, Bjor sniffed that one out. Bjor kind of catches Hazed off guard with that one. Now the spike just getting picked up. They're going to pop that owl in mid as well, so that'll at least tip Drone off. That wall that's in mid does have a gap, so there's an opportunity to exploit it, and Drone wants to go up on top, has to be careful. Here's the shots, and takes advantage.
Revealing area.
Okay, Bolt's destroyed immediately. Still, he's got information that somebody's still through here. It's the wonderful thing about the Bolt. You're either spotting their exact location, or you're just getting confirmation that somebody's there because they shoot it. One way or another, you get info. There's really no way to entirely deny that apart from stepping around a corner. They are going to group up for this A hit, knowing that Hazed is gone, the devil of the A bomb site. They want to try their chances here, and I don't blame them. Wardell, though, is the new devil. He's the new king. He has rotated off with the AWP as well, completely repositioned. He's ready to take this fight around the wall, and he'll get back in towards the site, actually giving up a ton of control, knowing that his slow orbs buys them a lot of time to rotate.
Here's the peculiar thing. That orb is actually the attacking side. Now there's the breach charge coming in. They're going to have to run past this to dodge the damage. Last gets the first one. Can't get the gun under control for the second. But it's okay because Cutler is there with the backstab coming up from the ropes. 8-2. It's not getting any better here.
That was a Big Frames orb coming through for the slow. That bites them a lot. Because I bet that was the idea, was to try and get that slow orb down to prevent the ramp player from getting away and allowing them to trade the kill. I understand that. But in that situation, it just slows you so much from actually moving into the site, especially with the wall up towards short.
Oof, this is a nice spot.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword there.
My intel is their obstacle.
So some people in the chat are even saying because this map is super D-sided, the fact that they have any rounds is promising. The problem is that those rounds were both pistol and the round that followed. And then the rounds that have played out since, if you're just tuning in, were not close. There was not very many rounds where Big Frames really got their foot in the door. They've been getting stomped out. So yes, I do agree that this map is D-sided and that you should expect to see the defense control large portions of the map for free. Oh, look at Hazed. Coming in on the flank, it's a free kill. Nerf doesn't even see it coming. There's that aggro again on A. But a lot of these rounds have played out with 5 alive. I think they actually had 2 flawless rounds in a row against full 5 both times, if I'm not mistaken. So that would kind of illustrate the way the rounds have been playing out. It's not just about the scoreboard. It's about the way those rounds happen that we're paying attention to.
They're going to try this mid-aggression again.
I know exactly.
Loner has been dug out at least. His position was found. The Cypher goes down, so that's a lot of good information. Finding the kill towards wires might give them accessibility in towards A heaven. They know that Hayes is the lone player on the site, but there's a quick potential.
Here comes the ult.
Yep. That's a great Viper ult. Here's where you have it. There's the stall. And meanwhile, Wardell gets a pick in towards heaven. I think he's about to die to the jet. I don't think he realizes the player got out already. So Loner's going to get this kill for sure. Question is, what can he do with it now? Hayes can just sit in this ult, wait for them to come through, hear the noise, and get the frag.
I actually like that move, though. So what that does for Loner is it allows Loner to get back into the backside of site, taking minimal damage. So you don't lose HP, you just decay. And you decay down to 1, but as soon as you leave it, you come back up. So the idea is get in as fast as you can and maybe spot out the Viper, not anticipating someone to be in there in the middle of the thick of it so quickly. Didn't work out so well, but I appreciate the idea.
My question also with their comp, obviously they do have a Cypher who we tend to think of as more defensive-sided. The Brim and the Breach really do flex well to either side, and the Sage as well is quite nice for the defense. But the Jet is a very aggressive champion. Now, on the defensive side, what you do is get the really cheeky angles and make that asset. It'd still be a bit tricky to use. This time, mid-aggression maybe not rewarded. They lose 2. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but the res comes back up. And now it's a problem. They've lost the man advantage. They do have a res of their own, but those corpses are very aggressively pushed, which limits the Sage's ability to get this res off. And you can see they've backed off. Wardell doesn't want to deal with it, doesn't want to potentially lose his own life to try and get one of his teammates back. They'll work as a unit, trying to secure this, trying to clear it, but the trap has been set, and there's the bait. Welshi gets one, the trade is there, but again, pressure continues to be applied, and Welshi finding the frags. One by one, they swing. It's a clown car of attackers. They just keep popping out around the angle, and that will at least net Big Frames a 3rd round to end out the half.
Now here's when things get interesting. Now that we flip them over to the opposite sides, will there be enough in Big Frames' tank of rounds to get them past the hurdle of potentially losing pistol? If Drone, Wardell, Cutler, Hazed, and Lasky win the pistol in the round that follows, that's 11-3 then. They have a very difficult hurdle in front of them because you only get so many mistakes. And yeah, of course, D-sided map, I totally agree. But at the same point in time, those rounds were pretty crazy at times. Towards the end, we started to see some closer rounds played, but I think part of that too was comfortability coming in from mouseSpaz. You started seeing like Hayes pushing really aggressively on A long. You started seeing like that end at the, that round at the end. That happened because they played that super aggro.
Yes, the mid aggression and the A aggression, especially from Hayes, because he was such a valuable anchor to them, and he was just kind of sitting back, and I think he got a little bored. Love this play from Pure, playing on the edge of the wall, waiting for them to boost over, knowing they're going to, and now he's got support, he's got 2. Yes, they've gotten into the site, but they're flanked all around. Their Sage can't help them. She's locked out by the wall, doesn't want to try and go for the kills there. Drone will get the Mr. President kill as Dev jumps in front of Pure, and he actually gets the 2nd as well, so hey. Nice turnaround here now from Drone. Loner trying to do something a little cheeky or a little tricky. Tighten to the angle. We'll get 1 and a 2nd as well. Defuse coming in. The Sage is in heaven, but I don't even know if she's going to get here in time to fight this, to deny this. She's full sprinting it. Gonna swing. Defuse will be on. It doesn't matter.
Well, you got to give credit to Wardell there for getting the kill right at the end.
Sure. I like that play from Pure at the beginning, to play on the edge of the wall, anticipating that they boost over.
Now, did you notice the wall that came in from the Viper, which was Hayes? Hayes sent down that wall. We flew 3rd person for it for just a second. You'll see how Viper is going to line it up here. Player number 6, by the way, just in case you're fingering around trying to figure out which one it's supposed to be. So Hayes is going to set this one up. You can see the line getting ready to go down, and that will fly all the way across upper and into heaven.
That's wild.
So that masks off all of it. Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. That I think will probably be tweaked. That seems just insanely powerful.
So that there's lines like that exist on Bind as well, through the showers into the A site, from short A as well across the opposite direction. So it's not just this map, but there's a few of them on this map. There's some over towards B as well, where you can line them up from outside B into the B site all the way across the left-hand side. There's some fun stuff you can do with Viper in this.
They're playing into mid. He's been flash blinded in wires. Gonna try and peek the out here, trying to adjust, going to get the Cypher as well. Series of kills coming in from this defensive side to build off of their pistol. And this is looking very good indeed. There's one lone player out towards A. The only problem is that lone player does not have the spike. So despite how much real estate they've given over, this is Drone, I believe. Despite how much real estate they've given over, it doesn't much matter if he can't get a plant, and he will be wiped off the face of the earth. A 5th round, they build off the pistol, but again, in the first half, we only saw them win those rounds off the pistol before a whole spree win it from the mouseSpaz side. They can't let that happen again.
So here's one of those fun camera placements. You saw Welshie
like
just
this.
toss it. Let's see if we can get up there into the eyes of the camera. Where's that
When
camera
Welshie was
at?
on the attack as well, he spammed that exact position to make sure that they didn't have a camera there. So this is clearly something that Welshie likes to play.
Let's see if Welshie uses this cam. So this is one of those cameras that's like a lot of people. There was a camera very similar to this one that was actually considered illegal because you couldn't hit it from the opposite side. I'm pretty sure this is not one of those cameras. Could be wrong, but like you said, Welshie spammed it every round on their side, knowing that that could be a possibility. There's a flashbang in towards B, try and get them a kill against the likes of Cutler, and it works out. They get that kill, and now the attacking side is at a disadvantage. Hayes going to be working up long A. They've also got control of ropes, but they haven't been coy about this. They actually made a significant amount of noise trying to get into the territory. Kind of peculiar play coming out here from the attacking side as they make a boatload of sound just going between these territories. Still got to contend with this Breach, who just gets gunned down towards the end. Trying to get into the eyes of Hayes. There's Hayes. It's a 1v5. Nice kill from Hayes.
Toxin screen down.
Nice breach. That just slows him at the very least. I'm amazed that he's still trying to get in towards A. I guess with 25 seconds, rotation is no longer a possibility, but earlier might have been an option. A second kill for Hayes. Looking like it might just be possible for a moment, but Bjor quickly dashes that idea from his brain. 6-9. Nice. We are coming to a little bit of a closer scoreline here as Big Frames continue to build off of that pistol, winning the first gun round this time around. They're trying to shrink this gap. Only 3 now remaining between them and their opponents, and this could be flipped on its head in just a moment. Chat may be right. For once, Twitch chat may be right. This is just wildly defensive-sided at this point. Loner, he's thinking about it. I don't know if you're on Loner Cam right now, but he's teasing me.
I saw him, yeah.
He's thinking about that light fixture once more.
I think he's just doing it to mess with you.
I think so. He knows. He knows I'm watching.
Cage trigger.
There's the person we want to see. Welshie over here in this site. Nerfed actually going to get one with the Molly. The Molly was down inside the cage, and now there's the breach charge as well. So they have really stacked significant levels of defense over here towards this site. Good kill coming in from Cutler as they work their way through. Again, that toxic screen is up, and yeah, good luck. There's just so much here already. Dev's going to get the last two on the round. Not looking good right now for the attacking side, but the full buy should come in here, and we'll see if they're able to find the solution.
Yeah, this is where if you can't get it, you can't get a spike down, you can't do some damage, you really start to be concerned. They have a chance to get some ults up during this. They've already got Cutlers, obviously, but that requires they find a corpse. And then they've got 3 players 1 orb away from picking up those ultis. Drone, Wardell, and Hayes could all bring them to bear in this round. Lasky a little far off from it. I think he's burned his breach earlier, or just hasn't really been getting the orbs early on here. So look for that. I might try and get very aggressive, but look at that. Brimstone already dropping his initially just to prevent them from getting in towards the shops, and that's going to allow them to take aggressive mid control on the defensive side. The Sage Wall as well prevents the sewer peak. There's Loner on top of it looking for it. Bure's already found one as Wardell decided to try and challenge it, and that was the spike as well. So a risky peek and a ton of information for the defense.
Lasky holding on the opposite side of that Brim smoke, but there's the kill coming in from Hazed. Trying to get to Hazed's perspective. Hazed slowly working up long. The angle is so awkward. Snakebite going to go down on the doors to try to keep them back just a bit. And a refresh on Snakebite as well. Now, Hazed has the ult. Potentially could pop that ult upper. Try and force them back. We'll see what Hazed decides to do as the rest of the team is grouping up in this territory. They desperately want to hit that double-digit round. Hazed is just playing with fire at this point. Knowing that they're right around the corner. Multiple targets right around that corner. Hazed still hasn't made a play yet, and there's the kill. So Hazed continued to play this one slow. And they're going to go ahead and get that spike down. Meanwhile, they're going to push towards spawn as well. Drone's going to pick off Dev, so this is looking like a very promising round. It's going to come down to one. It's going to be Welshie who's going to get shock darted. No, it's actually the recon dart. That's a promising round here on the attack. And I don't think we actually saw many attack rounds like that in the first half. That one-sided of a victory. We saw the pistol round, the round that followed, and then one round at the end where it was just a bit of a sloppy play from the defense that ran down mid.
Yeah. To me, that was also quite interesting because my initial response when Hazed triggered that much of a rotation out of the CT side, I mean, he knew there were two players heaven, right? He'd spotted two of them. There wound up being three, but there's such heavy presence there. I almost expected them to hit B, but they have so much faith in Hazed to be able to hold that angle, to be able to deal damage if there tries to be a move back to the site, that they trust to group up and go for the hit, and it works out. He controls that angle perfectly. He winds up getting two frags out of it, just constantly moving and sliding around, and it's impressive play on the Viper. Very impressive play indeed. Now that may have just been enough. There's still going to be money for the defensive side, but this is the round that could break the bank, and if it does, be all over before we even know. A three-man push in a garage seems like it's going to be the ticket, and there they go, ready for it, but Drone doesn't quite have the aim. There's a second player here, but they're not going to push it just yet. The breach will come to support, and the res at the wrong time. That allows Welshie back through. That allows a series of kills in, but Lasky at least has the trades.
Hazed again playing towards this A site. Hazed is getting so much information. There's no one present on the A site currently. The Sage rotated down ropes towards mid. Hazed might be able to catch the Sage if they play this one the right way.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah, there's the ult. So now Hazed has this one on lockdown. They're going to go ahead and stick that spike over on the B site, or A site, excuse me. There's two players coming through, and now they heard the drop as well. So now Hazed has a couple bodies coming their way, but they have to be careful. Oh no, this is going to be awkward. There's the first one, turning back. There's another. Hazed is going to get all three. A huge play from Hazed, sneaking their way through into upper A and locking it down. And now the money still good enough. So not gonna make a difference. The defense is still gonna have cash.
Are they? They're fully healthy on it. Looks like Welshie. Oh no, someone did drop it for him.
Yeah,
so
they have plenty.
Right.
So after this round, that's when things get interesting. After this round, their money is going to be super tight. I don't know what they're going to be able to afford, and that's when you're at 12 rounds if you lose it. So not exactly looking so great, but still
not ideal.
Defensive side of map. So
I think they're allowing Hazed a lot of freedom here towards A, and he's been doing it again and again. He was the ace player on the other side as well, so just a lot of control being given over to that Viper. And I'm almost surprised. We saw the aggression down mid. We've seen aggression into towards the garage. I'm surprised they're not doing a 2-minute push out A just to catch Hazed ball, because he's done this so many times. And this might be the punish. Bjor, is he going to anticipate the player close up in the choke? He's looking for it. He's got to swing it, though. Here we come around, not looking for it. Bjor will catch him, so that's the answer. That's the antidote, if you will, to the toxin that was this Viper. And now it's just going to be mid-control available to the attack, but at the cost of...
Off your feet!
And there's that ult coming in as well. To get in towards the upper heaven area. And that's going to be Cutler getting 2 quick kills. Like, yeah, sure, they did lose some bodies in the meanwhile, but they want to try and take this fight back towards the Sage, and that's not a bad idea, but it's going to be difficult territory to clear out, given that Wardell is working with that operator. There's the main play, and neither one gets the kill. So I understand the effort, the attempt, wanting to take that one-man engagement, wanting to force your fight towards the healer as well as the one with the res, potentially.
The other problem is, as well, from Bjor's perspective, when you try and go for that, because Wardell tried to basically do the hop so that they would be coming down from 2 separate angles, but in doing so, he makes a noise. And so that footstep is loud. In those wires areas, the sort of metal vent sound almost, like John McClane crawling through the vent duct sound, is so loud. He knows instantly that someone's going to be dropping down upon him, is already ready for the transfer. He sees the feet come down, has so much time to get that kill before you can even really adjust your aim. It's a really disadvantageous fight to take, and unless you have something, a slow orb or some sort of change to break their concentration, that is a really tough duel.
Toxin screen down.
Well, we'll continue to watch the cat and mouse game take place over on this A site. It's really the battle between the Viper and the Sage over here on A. If the Viper in Haste can play this one right and consistently take out that Sage, that's huge. They're losing not only their support and their heals, but they're also losing the ability to throw up those walls and those slow orbs. And again, they don't really have as much control because they do have a jet in play.
Top poison's off.
Now, they are bringing that spike back to A, and they've actually gotten control of mid. Now, there's that ult. I actually really like the way they threw that one, knowing that they have that control. That also illustrates to us that that control is well understood. Poison Orb's going to go down, and there's a wall on the other side. This is going to get real bizarre. When the wall goes down, there's the walk up over the top. So that got really strange real quick. Wardell gets the kill on one upper, but there's still Loner in the site to contend with. It's all up to Wardell with just 17 seconds left. Wardell's going to have to find this kill onto Loner, and Wardell...
Spike.
Yeah, there's not much that Wardell can do.
Have time to get this down? 5 seconds. Looking for the face? I don't think so at this point. No chance for the plant.
Had to just run the spike. Gonna go for the plant anyway, but had to go for it immediately.
Do you still get money if you plant a spike post-time?
Well, you do definitely get the ult charge.
Right. But it's 300 for everybody if you get the spike down, I believe. Right?
I wish I could remember. I'm pretty sure you do, but it's 1:20 in the morning, and I'm pretty tired at this point, so I'm not really thinking about it.
Is that?
I'm 90% sure
this is like my
you're right.
mid-afternoon. I'm ready for dinner, Mark.
Yeah, right. I've been up since 7 a.m., dog. Like, yeah.
Oh.
And guess what? I got to be up at 7 tomorrow, too.
Oh, man. Real people hours.
Yeah, we have our kids doing homeschooling stuff because of coronavirus, so we
That makes sense.
Go through all that. And my wife is actually going grocery shopping in the morning, so I'll be doing that solo dolo.
Oof.
Yeah.
I wish you luck.
Yeah.
I wish you all the luck in the world. It's interesting that they've been so passive on mid control in this defense. I feel like we saw a little bit tighter of holds from the mouseSpaz side on their own iteration of this. A wall's going to be up to allow the split into wires, except this time there's no haze. So this is interesting to me. Because if they had the pinch up wrap, this would make sense. But this is actually the bait play. This is to draw them off of B and put all of the pressure onto the Cypher. It's all going to be on Welshie. He's tucked here beneath the gazebo, or behind this fence right here. He's going to have to kill everybody, and he's got none. He's got nothing to show for it. That's going to be a spike plant. That's a site taken, and Drone follows it up as well. So this might just be the 12th round here. Great play from mouseSpaz to sort of defeat their expectations. They're training them to anticipate that aggressive A play from Hayes every round, and then once they trigger the wall, they expect that A split, but hey, it's all a ruse.
Yeah, I'm really liking what we're seeing here from mouseSpaz. It's something that you're like, okay, There you go. There's that preparatory work that's coming into play. We saw a lot of games played early on with that Viper lurking over on the A site, but here's more of a dedicated play towards the B side, and now you can see that Big Frames has to back off. They need these guns in the next round. They'll use the money in Loner's Bank and Dev's Bank to drop guns over to Nerf and to Welshie, but it will be a 12th round here, so at the very least, they've just secured themselves that overtime point. Now, again, reminder, overtime, if it gets to that point, which it still very much could, it's sudden death. It's not even really sudden death to me. It's just you win or you lose. I don't know. Sudden death to me is like we go back and forth, and whoever gets the first point wins. That's different. This is like we play one round and it's over.
It does feel a little coin flippy.
I want sudden death, like back and forth. Play one on defense, play one on attack, and just back and forth until you win two.
I think you and I have a different definition of sudden death, because I think of sudden death as whoever makes the first mistake loses. Right? Like, sudden death is as soon as something goes wrong, you're out. I think of, like, Super Smash Brothers, where sudden death was bombs falling from the sky with everyone on 300% damage. It's definitely... I suspect that we'll see in a competitive scene there may be a slightly more elaborate overtime played. The one thing that is nice about this, and we've talked about it, it does keep the games from running too long for broadcasts. That you just have this one sudden death round.
But I want to see it almost like I want to see it like penalty kicks. That's what I want to see. Yeah, there's the ult from the Viper over on the A side. Excuse me. There we go. Finally able to get into Hayes' eyes. So Hayes is just going to chill here inside this Viper smoke, just trying to bait them into this and keep them glued down. As long as this smoke is here, they know the Viper's here. So that's the beauty of the situation right now. There's the shot through. Hayes hears the bullets coming out. But the rest of his team is actually over towards the B site. And now the interesting thing is they're leaving.
Look at the Sage and Sewers, too.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the Sage right now. There you go. It's Bjorn. Bjorn's going to spot a good one, make it a second one as well. So that Viper play was cute and all. But the value, not there whatsoever.
I think the problem was that they did it after just last round, where they tried to pull a similar kind of trickery. Now it's all going to be Hayes. He's got a 1v4 with 10 seconds left. This is done, and he'll get shot in the face to end it. I think it's because they played it right after they played a second round, where they used the threat of the A hit to allow a B hit. Big Frames weren't rotating. They weren't biting. They saw that ult go up. You saw Loner probe into it to be like, okay, what's going on here? Promptly realized that it wasn't an immediate take off the back of the ult. And then it's like, well, we can just leave him here. He's not going to abandon his ult and let it deflate for nothing. So just leave and deal with the hit wherever it's coming. Turns out it's mid. The flank up Sewers is really effective as he pulls a bit of a switcheroo with the Viper.
Ready.
And I really do like that play from Big Frames, to not flinch, to not blink in the face of danger.
Trevor!
Yeah, I would have liked to see that play out a little bit differently with that Viper ult. Maybe use the Viper ult to maybe a little bit further up in position even, so that if you go for that Viper ult, you could actually get your teammates on the site. Like if you pull up the map is one of these keys. There you go.
M, I believe.
Yeah,
Default
I have
blind.
it. I have mine changed as
Nowhere
well.
to run!
But if you could
Aren't
change
you
it so that you
fancy?
could effectively kind of like sneak in on the front side, that would have been great as well.
Poison's off.
Here they go. Oh, that brutal wall, but they already got the kill. Flashbang to lead them in. And another kill is theirs as well. They've just taken down this B-side defense. Or did they? Dev's still here. Well, she's still here. Hazed. Again. Lurking. What he does in the shadows, no one knows.
This man's looking like happy circa 2018. That's what he's feeling like right now. Hayes gonna try and make the individual play. It's a 1v3. There's a player up in heaven already. Oh, misses that shot at least. That gives a second opportunity to Hayes, but now they know exactly where he's coming from. They've got control of this play as well. They don't have to face this, but Dev will do so. He gets himself the pick as they come over the lip of the balcony. That'll be a nice kill for him. 3 in total in the round, and now we are 1 away from OT. You said it was certainly possible. It's looking maybe just likely, especially since the money's a bit weird for the attacking side. They have extra cash on Wardell, but if he wants that op, that's going to limit their rifles. I expect to see him buy 2, maybe 3 rifles instead of the operator. No, he's gone for the operator, so that's going to very much limit what his teammates can do. We're going to see a Spectre for Lasky. I don't even know what Hayes is going to wind up with. I think that's about all their cash burn through.
I feel like they need to do the opposite of what they did before. So continue to use this Viper
Stinger.
over on A. Continue to use the Viper and make some noise towards B, but then really dedicate towards
Just
A.
go to A. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Viper's been able to consistently sneak their way in. Now look at this. They're actually just walking their way up onto B long, into the B site. Now Wardell missed that shot. That would have been a huge opportunity for them to take advantage of that. But still.
This is starting to feel like, okay, that's a big pick on Pure. That also allows the upgrade for Hayes. He's going to be able to get himself a proper gun, a Phantom here. And this might just work out. There's still the Jet tucked in and 2 players who are rotating. They know how dangerous he can be, but that's a big pick from Loner. That's going to remove the threat. It's going to allow them to rotate the defensive players back into the heaven, which is where they need to watch right now. The pinch is coming towards B. All of the pressure is going to be on the Cypher. Welshi has to go ham, but his cages are still up, and that flashbang's perfect. Somehow he gets a kill out of that very wild spray. And this is getting wild indeed. Drone and Cutler may have just done enough. All the pressure on the Loner. The off needed for the clutch. They know where he's coming from. The Cyber cage is up in his face.
exactly where
And they're rotating off? No. Going back to the site. They thought about
they
it.
were going for the res.
3v1. Oh,
Yeah,
they got
they
the
were
res?
They were going for the res, yeah. So they went for the res on the breach to make it a 4v1. That effectively kills the game. As it's down to just Loner. Loner's going to have to pull off an impressive play, and I don't think it's going to be in the tank, especially with that slow orb coming down. That's just going to make things harder for Loner. Loner at this point is just making noise, realizing this is a loss. Kind of memeing it up just a little bit. Great play from Big Frames, but in the end, it's not going to be enough. mouseSpaz will be your champions here as they take things over their opposition. Big Frames 2-1.